Everyone, thank you once again for tuning into the the Reinventing the Tattoo. Let's talk about feelings. Thank you to Guy Aitchison and Gabe Ripley for offering this opportunity for us to sit around and do something that tattooers don't typically do, which is talk about feelings. My other host, Dustie Pitstick, will be here in a little bit, possibly. He had something to do with tornado warnings or something today when he was at work. He lives in Ohio. They have weird shit out there. We got hurricanes in Florida. They got tornadoes out there. But today, it is just I, unless you want to sit down, because I know you're dying.
I just think that one day, I should just start the show nonchalantly as if it's always been my show, and just roll with it and say the same shit you say, all of it. Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking about how funny it would have been if it was just me here, acting like everything was fine, and then people are like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" To be like, "What are you talking about? I do this every week." What do you mean?
That's like when drunk Robbie thinks it's a really cool idea to call somebody by a different name.
Yeah. Andrew. Yeah, I've also had an hour of sleep, so to me that was really fucking funny. So I don't know.
For anyone that doesn't know, this is Donna, my other half. I don't want to say my better half, my other half. And the baby is down for a nap, is he not?
Oh God, he hasn't napped all day.
Fun times.
I think he's teething. Which, if we're talking about feelings, my feelings on teething is I hate it. It's rough.
The baby hates it.
The baby hates it. That poor baby.
I know.
Poor guy.
I know.
I feel bad.
I wasn't here most of the day, so
yeah,
I don't know what he was like today, but I do know what a teething day is like.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, it'd be like that. Yeah, what did you say that you found on the internet about the pain level of it?
Oh yeah, something on the internet said that if we as adults had to go through the pain that they're going through without being able to use pain medicine and shit like that, of actually cutting teeth through your gums and all of them basically, is a lot of us wouldn't be able to handle the pain, and we wouldn't live through it.
So yeah,
in
case you were wondering what type of pain levels babies go through during teething, there we are.
I feel it's probably so traumatic that our memory blocks it out. It happens so young that our brain blocks out that ever happening. That's why we don't remember it. Because I feel it's probably that traumatic.
Yeah, I could dig that.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's what I could dig that means.
Well, I'm just again an hour of sleep,
Yeah, he was having a hard time last night, or you were just having a hard time.
Yeah, I was having a hard time last night. I laid in bed for a few hours and that was it.
Yeah, sleep is a thing that not all of us can do.
No, you're so good at it though.
Yeah, I like to be
night.
good at things at night.
You're good at it at night, and I'm good at it in the morning.
It works.
It does. Mavis's feelings is jealousy, dramatic abandonment.
She said, "Don't look at me. I'm ashamed."
Right. She's very upset that we had a baby.
Because that was Mama's baby.
And she's still Mama's baby, but she doesn't like our other baby. And it's very apparent.
Very apparent.
And it makes me sad because I used to cry all the time thinking about how cute it was going to be that Zen and Mavis were going to be best friends. And she hates him.
She didn't like me for a long time.
I know. But I thought maybe once he starts eating real food and started feeding her, she'd be like, all right, this dude's cool. But no, she goes in, she gets the food, and then she still hates them.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm just sad. I love you so much. I don't know how to handle it.
I want to start putting her in like the baby carrier and carrying her around. Like make her feel special again, you know? You want to
You're
go to baby
ridiculous.
carrier?
So you said something a minute ago that made me think of something. Hello, Erica and Amber. I hope you're both doing well. But I can't remember what it is now.
How do you pronounce that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I would say Brenda Mule, but I'm not sure. That's a pretty rough one.
Brendan. I don't know.
You're already having a hard
Yeah, I am.
time.
I can't hear her.
Yeah, you're muted, Amber.
Still can't hear you.
Yep.
We're good at reading lips though.
Yeah. Yeah, can you hear us? Like, we still can't hear you.
I'm not that good at reading lips.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't hear. We can't get that.
It's like charades.
Yeah, right. All right, Dusty's coming in, maybe.
All right, can you hear me now?
There she goes.
Yeah.
I forgot I was on a phone call and I started the podcast and then the phone call came back on. And I was like, shit,
Ah,
I totally forgot.
yeah.
This is what happens when you're sick.
Right. Well, what kind of sick?
Well, I'll probably find out tonight. It's either bronchitis or pneumonia.
Brad.
Rad. Yeah.
It's been going on for over a week and nothing's helped.
Fuck.
So I am eating Chinese soup, which always makes me feel better.
Hell yeah. Dig it.
And that, that hot mustard will clean you out real good.
Yes, it will. So I can't remember what Donna was saying that reminded me of what I wanted to talk about today.
Put Mavis in a baby carrier.
Okay, no, don't even try. Don't even try. I'm just gonna skip past that and get to the point. But I was driving home from the shop today. I did my tattoo education masterclass today. And that was really cool. I felt really good about it. I enjoyed doing it. It was a lot of fun. And then I was like on this level of elevation where I was like still riding the high from doing it. And like just good things kept happening to me afterwards. And like I'm now settling down, like mellowing down off of that big like just
Adrenaline rush?
What's that?
Is it high?
Yeah, kind of like an adrenaline high from doing the fucking, the class. And then like I just felt really good, right? I just felt really cool and like felt like my energy kept going further outside of me and it kept coming back to me because I was projecting so much good. Like I went to the FedEx store to send away a commission that I'd been working on for a couple months. And now like I get to get paid, right? And I get to like send the art out. And like just that simple act felt like so much more of an accomplishment because I was so stoked about having done the masterclass and it going successfully. So like then I'm leaving the FedEx store and this young girl comes out of nowhere and she comes up to me and she's like, "Oh my God, were you on Inked?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Oh my God, your story." And then it's like looks down at my leg and looks at my Cadillac, and just like everything that she's learned about me from the internet has just hit her in her face in real life. And she's like, I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna cry. And like, then her granny gets out the car and she's like, do you mind if my other grandchildren come and take a look at your car? And then the one girl, she's lingering around real like she wants something. And I'm like, what you need? And she's like, can I take a picture of your car? I was like, yeah. And then like I go to give her a handshake when she leaves, and she goes to move in for a hug. And like I was driving around in the Cadillac, so you know, Dusty, you've driven in it with me before. Like people look at you all the fucking time when you're in that car, and like I just felt like, oh wow, that feeling that my buddy Mike, who drives a McLaren, talks about, where people just, you make their day by driving your car. But like, I actually felt that because I was making people's day by driving my car around. But really what I feel like is more so, I was making my own day just by putting good out into the world and staying at a high vibration. And so like, I guess the common theme I'm talking about is like the connectedness to the positive energy. And when you tap into that and allow that to flow through you, life just feels better.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is today's topic in 4 words or less.
Nailed it.
I'm so good at condensing words. So good.
Yeah. Robbie's a very simple man.
I'm as good at condensing words as I am with technology things for the first 25 episodes of Let's Talk About Feelings.
Oh, you got him great today.
Fucking finally, man. I got a message. What's up?
No, I was gonna say it was very funny to see you on the Zoom call earlier today, because your guy had come in and set everything up to where like the camera was really nice and stuff. So I was like, this looks way too professional for Robbie's doing. And I almost don't like it. It doesn't feel right.
Are you trying to say Robbie's not a professional fucking cameraman? Because
Dusty's
wow.
attended so much video conferencing with me. He knows my style, man. It's a fucking computer or a cell phone. That's it, bro. Like,
yeah. It was like it was like when you like, I've got the Masterclass app and subscription, and where you turn it on and they like filmed it with pro level cameras and stuff. And I was like, this is way too Robbie didn't
No.
so I'm gonna tell you guys the truth, because Dusty and Robbie decided to come up with this lie about how there's no production in it. We actually have like 4 camera guys right here filming it. We had a makeup crew over there. Right before you guys came in, they had to powder us up a little bit again, you know, give us a look. They made my hair disheveled.
Make sure there's no shine.
Yeah, like I think they put like
right before this podcast started, Donna threw coffee in a college kid's face.
Yeah.
Fucking intern.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
This production is bullshit.
Yeah, they got me a matcha with almond and not.
So this is Donna on 1 hour of sleep. It's very fun sometimes.
So the way he just said that and said it's really fun sometimes, he means not now.
He seems to be having a ball, so.
Oh, the best time. Because like we'll get into a great conversation and Don will be like, so you know, pink trucks, I think they're really cool, and car accidents, let me talk about one because I have things on my mind I need to talk about. So that's what Donna does.
I
She's
don't
very
appreciate
sleepy.
you making fun of me.
Why are you napping with the baby?
Because human connection.
Oh, so back to the topic.
Sometimes moms need to connect with adults.
I get it.
Yeah. Before you guys got in, I was saying one day it'll be real funny, at least to me, on 1 hour of sleep, if I start off the show and then I just like say everything Robbie says in the beginning, and like when you guys are like, oh, where's Robbie? Like, oh, how come you're here this week? I'll just be like, what are you guys talking about? Like, I'm here every week. Like, you know. I thought it was.
Donna thinks she's
That
hilarious.
would be funny. I believe that would absolutely be funny.
I'm into it.
Donna.
Just slowly assume his identity
Yeah.
And just claim that it,
make us believe that it's been just you all along, like Fight Club in reverse.
Well, fucking people walk up to me all the time at the booth and they're like, "Oh, you're Robbie Ripoll," and I'm like, "Yes, me. I'm Robbie Ripoll. Yes."
but yeah, that's like the concept of today's show is just connection.
You are the most tattoo artist, not tattoo artist, and I you're starting to absolutely see people walking up to the booth for years and just being like, "How much would you charge for this?" And just you look like you know what you're doing.
She
Yeah.
does, dude. Fucking people confuse her with someone from Ink Master all the time.
It's
We
Kelly
assume
Doty.
it's
I
gonna
was
be
gonna
Kelly
say, how
Doty.
many times have you gotten Kelly Doty?
It's probably Kelly Doty.
Yeah.
They don't say who it is,
Yeah.
but they just instantly go, "Oh, I seen you on Ink Master. You were so good. I love you."
And she's such a dickhead. Like when they notice me from Ink Master, I'm like, "Hi, bye." Donna's like, "Fuck yeah, I was on Ink Master. Hell
Oh,
yeah,
no, no.
I told you bitches, I said it." Like Donna's fucking
No.
all kinds of
No.
up there up
It's
front.
not that bad. It's when people are really excited to meet whoever they think I am. I don't want to burst their bubble and make them sad because now they're riding on this high. I don't want to bring them down like over something so like whatever, you know, like if they think they're meeting someone famous, like fuck it, let them ride that high today. Hell yeah. You know, like,
All
I'm
right,
gonna hype them
so
up more than that person is.
I have a story for you guys, and there's a little bit of backstory, but I promise it's going somewhere. When I was in high school, like high school age, 17, I had just graduated. I was in a band that like toured all over the country and like went to LA, did a bunch of stuff. I was 17. I was a little bit chubbier, not like fat, but like definitely I still had some boyish chubby on me. I looked like I look, and I had green hair, and I would always wear like, you know, Rancid or Operation Ivy shirts or whatever, and like really long, like shorts to the point where they almost looked like flood pants. So I looked like a little chubby green-haired punk rock kid. And so we would tour everywhere, and we would go to like bigger cities. And when we were in LA, was like the height of the MTV show The Osbournes. And I am fully have coped with the fact that like I look like Jack Osbourne. Like I'll give them that. And I signed autographs for like a month straight in LA. People would like stop me and like, and I would just like, yeah, like you said, I didn't want to be like, no, I'm just some guy, because that immediately turned into, you don't have to lie. You think you're too fucking good. You don't want to sign an autograph. So I was just like, okay.
Fuck it.
Oi, tea and crumpets, right? Sign and fucking. But yeah, I was Jack Osbourne for like a whole summer in California.
Oi, oi, tea and crumpets was my favorite part about that.
That's funny.
Hey,
Oh,
crazy train, right? Oi, good day. Sign.
So
But I'll dig up some high school photos. Like my hair was straighter and a little shorter, but I looked like that kid. Yeah.
right.
That's why me and Dusty get along, because we're the type of people who will be like, all right, fuck it. I don't want to make you a liar.
It's like partially out of people pleasing, but it's more so out of like the amount of hassle versus just going with it. I'm like, fuck it. I don't have time for this shit.
But
Autograph.
honestly, it's really fun. So I have a friend, he passed away a little bit ago, but people would mistake him for me, and he would do the same. He'd sign autographs as me, take pictures with them. Then we started these elaborate stories that we were brothers to some people, and then some people we'd say we were cousins, and like sometimes we'd pretend we were the other dude, and like it was just fun to interchange just because we were stupid. But yeah, I always like watching people pretend they're me when somebody confuses them for me, especially when I'm standing right there, and I'm pretty undeniably me when I'm standing there.
The closest
He
I've
just
ever
stinks.
gotten to being mistaken to first celebrity as Punky Brewster when I was a kid.
I used to get called Punky Brewster. When I was
Yeah,
a kid.
legit, I looked like Punky Brewster. I dressed weird. I had bandanas
I
all
love
over
it.
my life, the whole 9 yards.
I used to love Punky Brewster.
I
Who's my
actually
favorite show?
Yeah.
been nicknamed Pumpkin Punky Brewster.
Nice.
Brewster.
Yeah.
And then, you know, as Soleil Moonfry got older, it turned out we still looked a lot alike. We were developing in the same way. And I'm like, hey, at least I'm not alone. And I'm 12 years old with giant bazungas.
Yep.
Weirdly enough, at 12 also.
Me too. Me too.
Hey, big titty club.
Whoop, whoop.
Absolutely. Yeah, but like, just like how it's all connected, like the energy I put out today and the energy that returned to me today, and then thinking about connectedness in general, like I'm high energy right now and like positive as fuck. And Donna's like, yo, I don't want sleep. I want human connection. So it's interesting to see that connection also, as well as the other interconnectedness. And it just like turns into connectedness in all different facets. And it's just cool when like you get these moments that you get to realize that. And like settle into, hey, life is working out the way I've wanted it to. And I've got a really cool situation. And it feels rough when I feel rough, but when I feel good, it feels good. So I want to try and feel good more. And when it's rough, I want to remember that I can try and feel good more. Still feel the stuff, still work through it, but not lay down and mope so much as easy as it is to do. You know, collect the gratitudes that I should really be receiving more often around me.
So there's Punky Brewster, right? And then
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Oh, all right.
Oh, wow.
yeah, like that's
It's pretty good.
yeah. And I had the bangs and the pigtails and all of it.
I think I might have a picture somewhere. Hold on one second.
We find out that we're like long lost sisters somehow. Actually,
You were all part of a project to clone Soleil Moonfry.
Right.
I mean, have you seen
The
Orphan
government
Black?
halted it, and you were all just sent out into the world.
Have you seen Orphan Black? Because that's yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I am obsessed with that show.
it's so good.
Tatiana Maslany is amazing.
Yeah, she's so good.
All right, this is as close as I could come to this great times.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you have it more so like in the actual facial features look like her. Yeah. That's
I don't
great.
look that much different now, surprisingly.
No.
Not really,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. That's wild. Yeah, I just found out I have a sister somewhere. Somewhere in the United States. She's much
I want to
older.
do the 23andMe and see if my sperm donor has any other children around.
Yeah. Hey, we could be related because
Possible. He moved to Florida.
oh no, he's up north, but he went across the whole United States back and forth a bunch of times. And I know I have at least 2 other siblings out there that like I never met. So I took 23andMe and my cousin took Ancestry so we can both like keep track of like who our cousins are because
Mhm.
our dads were like dirty carnies that, you know, did their dirty carny shit. Yeah.
I'm already
Pollinating the nation.
related.
Holiday.
What?
I'm already related to half the county I live in.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same guy somehow. I don't know, you know?
That, is his name Frank?
No, but so he looks like he
Yeah.
could be Frank. But
Yeah.
no, it's not. Yeah. Like Frank from Shameless, you know, but like more of a skeleton.
Oh,
Yeah. Like, you know, it's bad when like you watch Shameless and you're like, man, it's so nice how well they get along. I wish my family was that good. And then you're like, oh, wait.
yeah.
Wait a minute, this is a cautionary tale.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh shit.
When you find yourself jealous of the dysfunctional family on TV. Yikes.
Mhm.
And that, right, winding back again, connects back to, hey, the good life of the baby screaming. So Zen just woke up. And Donna is running to his aid. Like she said, he's teething, so it's been fucking rough on him.
Yeah.
And like the last time he was teething was probably close to a month ago. So like he hasn't really been in like teething pain. And now he's in teething pain again. So cutting teeth is a motherfucker. So we have some sleepless times ahead of us.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. But it's cool, right? Like it's only sleep.
Yeah, they'll be out of that phase before you know it.
Yep. Yep. And like I have the luxury of I don't tattoo 5 days a week. You know what I'm saying? So like I can catch up on my sleep when I need to, and I can not hustle as hard and just like be here. And that's one of the things that I have a hard time being like appreciative of, because when he's screaming and losing his mind, it's hard to be like, yay. But like when he's screaming and losing his mind and you're like, I don't have to wake up early tomorrow. I can literally just lay around with him if I need to, and he needs me to. And that's just what it is for right now. Because like you said, these times end sooner than we think. He's already almost 10 months old. In a few days, he'll be 10 months old. Like that flew the fuck by, man. Like,
Yeah,
flew the
2
fuck-
months from now, he'll be a year old.
Right, exactly. So a year just flew the fuck by. And like, I'm still in my head thinking like, we're where we were when she was like 3 months pregnant. Like, I'm still back there. So I can't even like I haven't even caught up to the fact that holy shit, almost a whole year has gone by, a whole year of progress. I've been in a dark place for a while. And I've been coming out of it for a while. But like I feel like that dark place that I was in was me preparing for the new light that I'm stepping into, positioning myself with businesses and investments and, family life. And like, I feel like I'm actually living the life that I really wanted to live when it comes to like work-life balance, so to speak. Now I just need to learn how to slow down and really, truly appreciate all of them around me. But like, it's really cool to look at this past year that has zoomed by and be like, wow, that past year was kind of tough and a lot of transition, but holy fuck, we're doing good. And I can see the sunlight. It's like a fucking bad night of partying, or like when you're fighting or in a breakup, and you just talk all night long and try to fucking come to resolve and you can't. And then the sunlight comes and you're like, well, at least it's a new day and we're going to figure this out. Like that's where I feel like I am in life right now. Like it's a new year almost. And I've figured a lot out, and I'm going to continue to figure out more. And we've learned so much along the way. And like today, I found myself having fucking gratitude for mentors that I felt like failed me or hurt me, or, didn't provide, a service I expected or paid them for, like all throughout my life. Right. So like, just friends, relatives, lovers, male mentors, a lot. Really, I thought about a lot of the male mentors I've had throughout my life recently, and like just quietly thank them all today for like going through what we went through together. And like when I felt it was unjust at the time what happened, or like we parted on ways that felt wrong, or I didn't love it, or I felt cheated or hurt, or deceived, or whatever the fuck. It was like if I hadn't been there through those people, I wouldn't know what it feels like to get to where I really want. And now I feel like I'm attracting the type of people that like really feed my soul. And like I feel like I'm getting the life that I've been desiring, which is like maximum output, minimum effort, and lots of time with my family. And it feels like I'm getting a lot more of that. And I just had a lot of gratitude moments for the hard times that make me appreciate the times I'm in now, because I kind of feel like I felt stagnant for years. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Glad you understand, because I feel like I tuned out and went into download mode. It was just like speaking things that were just coming through me, because I don't even know. Like I've had a lot of breakthrough moments today when I was doing the master class. I kept fucking crying when I was talking about like tattooing. And it like really like fucked me up in a good way. But I was like, dude, like why when I talk about what these moments in tattooing mean to me, like I'm getting emotional. And like, dude, I just kept hitting these fucking moments where I like had to fucking control my emotions. And it was really cool. I mean, it wasn't scary and I wasn't actually embarrassed, which are all things I've thought it was not cool and been embarrassed and, you know, just been scared. Like it was just like weird and cool that like, I just kept like feeling emotions based on things. So like I've been in a really wild state of gratitude. And I feel like doing the master class kind of cracked open something like that for me, because tattoo education is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And it felt really good and right doing it. And like I feel like I'm going to be able to build something really fun and cool that can help a lot of people grow. And I love the idea that like I feel good, you know? And so doing something that you've been wanting to do for a long time makes you feel really good. Also, be careful with that high, because there's always lows, right? So like, I'm just hoping that I can learn a way to manage a more neutral state, but enjoy the highs and acknowledge and appreciate the lows during, rather than being a whine crybaby bitch in the middle. So yeah. Any thoughts on any of that, guys?
I'm just loving watching you ride the high right now.
It's weird because like I've been on it and it's cool. And like I just want to remember to appreciate all the things that I appreciate now in the moments where I don't feel good and I don't feel up to snuff and I don't feel enough. And I feel my efforts are silly or futile. You know?
I get that.
But yeah, it's a weird thing. It's a cool thing. And it's like I've had a lot of realizations today that I've got the life I want. And all the things I've always looked in others that I'm like, wow, I wish I had that. I have a lot of that. A lot of that. So stop being jealous and stop doing the comparison thing that I talked about today, not fucking doing. So, you know, nice times.
Yeah. I mean, I had a conversation about that recently myself that kind of boiled down to, you know, someone talking about the feeling of, you know, being successful and feeling unsuccessful. And
Yep.
it really turned into me, you know, talking with them and being like, hey, what do you define success as? Because if you define success as just financial success, or if it's just having your dream job, or if it's this or that, you know, it can be really taxing on people to like, we're brought up to assume that success is only penthouse apartment, fancy suits, fast car, like that atypical like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, like fucking Scarface ideal of like, you know what I mean? That like
Absolutely.
everything has to be fancy and fucking you want
I need a mansion and 3 tigers to be successful, as long as I can fucking, you know, drive Lamborghinis as well and fly private planes. Like that's success. Like it doesn't need to be cocaine empire success.
yeah, but you know, like that level of like just everything's all white, everything's fancy, the nicest cars, and that's what so many people were programmed to think success is. And it's not a job, it's not a specific person you date, it's not a friend, like it's a balance of all of these things. And you know, like even if you're fucking Elon Musk or any of these guys, like you gotta have some sort of hobbies and interests and stuff, and it's just being well rounded, I think, is more what success is. That you you have people that you call friends, you have potentially people you call family, you have some sort of career, some sort of hobbies, like you have a fulfilling life, I think is the real definition of success. And that's going to look completely different to everyone else. To some people it might be, how much were you just saying that you strived for that work-life balance, that you wanted to, be around your kid more and get to sleep more. Whereas I'm like, if I'm not tattooing 7 days a week, like I get bored real easy. That may be completely different in 5 years. It may be completely different in 1 year. Everybody's, it's ever evolving and it's always changing. But those feelings of, like you said, looking at someone else's play and playing the comparison game kind of pale in comparison to really taking a step back and being like, okay, what about my life doesn't feel successful? Is it that I don't like my job? Is it that I don't like the people I'm around? Is it that I don't like, where I live? Or do I wish I could travel more? Or I want to do this hobby and I never did it. But it's so, sometimes you kind of sit there and you realize like, no, success isn't defined by, like you said, the pool and the 3 white tigers and the fucking ball gowns and the Ferraris. And you can sit down and realize that you really did miss that you've kind of checked every box, because it feels so kind of that idea that like if you see somebody every day, you don't realize that they've gained or lost 20 pounds versus if you don't see them for 2 months, it's holy shit, dude, you lost weight. If you really take a step back and look at it, because it's in your day to day, you don't realize when you hit these success beats, and you can take a step back and be like, fuck, I like my job. I like where I live. I have friends. I have hobbies. I am by all definition and intent successful, and you don't even really realize it happened because you were too busy being like, well, this person's doing that. Why aren't I doing that? I don't even fucking want to do what that person's doing. Right. I'm just jealous of the happiness that they are displaying while doing it. And oftentimes that happiness isn't even real. It's a construct for social media that, don't I look so fucking happy, doing this thing on Instagram, and really they're not even whatever. So like taking that step back and being like, I got to stop, like you said, I got to stop looking at what person X and dude Y are doing and just be like, I'm happy where I'm at and things are going well. And it is a cool little high to ride when you kind of come to that realization of like, holy shit, things are actually pretty good.
Yeah, right. My happy moments rarely make Instagram. I'm usually way too busy being in the moment to possibly get it on Facebook or Instagram.
Right. If your happy moments involve having to pull out a phone to document it, or the bigger moments in your life have to revolve around like, so-and-so, grab the camera, we got to get this shit on tape. Right. You're probably not living the most fulfilling life, and they're probably not that happy of moments. Right.
Well, like we're constantly taking videos of the baby walking and like doing his things, right? And you get to live in those moments. And the whole thing is you get to capture and keep those moments. And like, I'm really glad I have them, because you know what? That baby that's giggling and making me fucking tear up with joy and laughter in 5 minutes is going to scream his face off and yell at me.
Yeah.
And like, ruin that fucking good moment. Like so many times we yell at him, we're like, why are you ruining a good thing? This was so cute. And now you're yelling. And like, but like,
and there's definitely a difference between like you're documenting something in your life that gives you happiness, that you're going to get to watch that kid grow, and you're going to get to go back and show your kid, hey, this was you when you were first stepping. I think there's a difference between that and like when people feel the need to document, like, we're on vacay, look how happy we are. Like, if you take some photos because you're happy and you want to remember the trip, that's one thing. If I can go through your Instagram stories and see, literally just fucking hours of video of every move you're making, it's like, I feel like you might just be broadcasting for the sake of broadcasting.
Tailor-made.
How guilty are all of us of seeing fireworks on any independence related holiday and snapping some video that we will never watch, and no one's ever watched your Instagram story of a firework going off and been like, fuck, it's like I'm there. Like, we're broadcasting to broadcast sometimes, and it's really cool to just watch some fireworks without your phone and just be like, holy shit.
Right.
And big in the sky. This is fun.
Display I had to record. because it started out with a piano on fire.
Okay, that's a little different.
Right.
It was July 4th. It was my birthday. We stuck bottle rockets and all kinds of stuff in the keys of the piano, and then we lit it on fire.
That
Yeah,
is
you film that because that's a science experiment at that
that's a
point.
cinematic fucking genius right there.
But that's I filmed those fireworks because
Right, and that's the thing, like,
that,
and I think you and I have both like just like kind of made this a more well-rounded point that like, yeah, if it's meaningful to take video, then that's important. But if you're living the moments without being present at all, just for the
Yeah.
gram, just for the video, just for the picture, just for the photo op, that's kind of a different story. And that's like we've all been guilty of living that life, right? Like I've gone to the point where I have to limit myself on how much I share because I share so much on social media. I don't want to turn into that person that's a complainer, and I don't want to be toxic positive either. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm
toxic positive, that's a real thing.
Bro, and
Yeah.
even though I'm a complainer and toxic positive sometimes, because you know what? Toxic positivity is a trauma response for me. It's something I fucking do to make sure that I will fucking make it through whatever this is that sucks right now. And so, yeah, there's a place for you, toxic positive, but like, I'm only going to do, and the thing is, I like to explain myself. So like, hey, I do this toxic positivity so I don't die through this process. Like I've had a bunch of people when I started sharing my like true feelings about just where I was in my life the past few months. A lot of people have come up to me and like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, but like, no. Because like everybody knows what it's like to be like, yeah, no. So like, I'm just going through a weird transition in my life. I acknowledge that. It's a weird point. I don't love it, but it's necessary and we'll figure some new shit out. And like, that's kind of where I feel like this comes back to like coming full circle and connectedness. Cause like there's a time and a place for everything, including recording your happiness, because it's a great moment to keep rather than feigning happiness because you're in that darkness and you're afraid to say, I'm in the darkness. And that's a reason why I like to say I'm in the darkness. Cause like, I've tried to pretend, and I've had a couple of people be like, yo, why are you so cheesy? Why are you so corny? Be real. And I'm like, okay, all right, I got you. Maybe I'm being toxic positive, because I thought that's what I was supposed to be. Like, I'm more glad being toxic positive though than being toxic negative. So like,
but does toxic positivity, are you broadcasting for the sake of broadcasting because you don't want to talk about it, or is it something that brings you out of the funk?
Right. So like that's yes, you know what I'm saying?
Touche. But like, because for every time that somebody's been like, accused me of like borderline, I don't want to say peacocking because I think that's more of like a dating term, but they're like, you're broadcasting this personality to try and bring the room up, and I'm like, what's the bad thing about that? And it is the same thing with me, that like on my worst days I can be real fucking quiet and everyone can be like, you're being real quiet, you're never real quiet, what's up? Or I can just keep on keeping on and being me, and it's like faking the funk a little bit, but by the time the day is over I will feel like me again because I acted like me. If it's
sometimes
if
you gotta fake it till you make it.
Right.
Yeah, just having this exact conversation with someone else the other day. If you're looking for a blue car, you're gonna spot way more blue cars than if you're not. If you go in intent on this fucking thing fucking really fucked my day up, you're gonna dwell on it and it's gonna fuck your day up. You choose if you give, not everything. If somebody shows up and fucking shoots me in the arm, like my arm's kind of fucked for the day, I didn't get to choose that. But within reason, Starbucks fucked up my order, this client's being annoying, my fucking dog wouldn't shut up and I didn't get any sleep. Like, you get to choose if that's going to make you the victim or not. And it really is so easy to be like, yes, in the heat of the moment, I'm super livid, or I'm super annoyed, or I'm just super over everything. But if you kind of just fake your way through it a little bit, it will lose its power. And by the end of the day, you're just kind of chilling. if you sit there at 9 a.m. because Starbucks fucked up your order and you let it dwell, then every little thing that happens that day, you know, I am the most guilty of this every morning when I put in my contact lenses, because I've been wearing contacts for 4 or 5 years now and it still does not go well. Every fucking morning I get it in my eye and it falls right out in the sink and I got to wash it off and do it again. And it is so easy for me in the heat of the moment to like want to just throw the whole toilet out the window because I'm so mad about it. And it, like, I just have to like, okay, chill, breathe, rinse it off in the solution, put it in again. But it's so easy to like, that one little thing turns into every little thing that day. You like stub your toe and you're like, oh, fucking course I stubbed my toe because it was fucking trash day in my stupid life where I deserve to fucking die. And like inside your brain, you will literally like find a fucking hole in your sock and be like, it's like the 8th thing that day. And you're like, fuck it, I'm leaving the country. I'm moving to fucking Europe to live in a castle away from everyone forever, because like Starbucks fucked up your order and there's a hole in your sock and like your dog got loose and you had to run and catch it. And it's so easy to do that versus like, I can just show up to work, and even if it is on my mind, I can choose to take it off of my mind and be goofy. And yeah, I'm kind of faking it. And within a half an hour, it's just out of my mind and things are better. And I think it's the same thing with you and toxic positivity, that like, you're not broadcasting for the sake of going on Instagram. You have proven time and time again, you are a human being that if you need to say some deep shit or some sad shit, you'll go and say it and you'll cry and you will be vulnerable and open. You have no issues with that. So you're not going on and saying that you're happy to be those people that go online and are constantly like, look at my fucking perfect life. Okay, everything's happy. All right. You know, like, you are just being you for the sake of you, and it does uplift other people, and then you thrive on that happiness, and then you are just kind of happy again, and it just fixes itself by just soldiering through a little bit. And that's not really, I mean, it's toxic in the heat of the moment, but it's not. When I think toxic happiness, I think the people that are just faking it to sell something or to look happy or to get people to believe things about them that probably aren't true all the time. How many couples do you know that you're like, oh my God, they're the happiest fucking couple ever? Like, get a goddamn room. And you know, as soon as that Instagram live turns off, they just fucking bicker all day. Like, why lie?
Literally, I knew this couple that they seemed like the perfect couple. And their son was good friends with my daughter when they were little, and the couples, they seemed like they just were in really good mess with each other. Everything always seemed great. This Christmas, things were not great. She went off the deep end and shot him.
Whoa.
Oh, shit. That's not where I was expecting that story to go.
Oh.
But they seemed perfect for 26 years.
I mean,
I've known them for
breeds expectation, though. Like, too, I think the people that broadcast that perfection, you can't let anybody see through the curtain or see the cracks in the facade.
Pressure you put on yourself to live up to the
That's why I like to be honest. It's easier to be honest.
Then you shoot your husband.
Yeah, I don't want to shoot my husband. You know, because
it's every like true crime podcast ever where they like interview the neighbors and they're like, they were the nicest dude. I don't know when they murdered and ate 4 children. It's always like the most excessive, like they ate somebody, and the neighbors are like, they were a sweetheart. It's like, yeah, because they were really good at that. And when that facade finally cracked, they ate a person. Like, that helps shit.
Dude, for real. And it's weird. Like, dude, when you were in town, talking about going back to like keeping yourself together through toxic positivity or just excessive positivity more so. You were in town when we got the phone call about somebody local slandering us.
Yeah.
And like, you were there with me throughout a lot of it. You held space with me. You talked with me. You counseled me some, and you congratulated me on not reacting. Because I came to you and I was like, should I react? I don't want to react, but like, what if I do this? Is this still a reaction? And you're like, yeah, it looks like a reaction. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. So I did nothing really. I didn't go after nobody. I didn't like make a a sideways video saying, I, X, Y, and Z, and anyone that knows anything knows that this is in retaliate. You know what I'm saying? Those like the video that you make feeling indignant, even though like you probably shouldn't make it because you're just speaking like from the hurt. So I was like, I'll just hurt alone with this one. I don't need to bring it to the internet.
And it's funny that you say that, because I was just reading the other night, and I already knew the term, but I hadn't thought about it in forever. But are you familiar with the term the Streisand effect?
No.
All right. So the Streisand effect, like if you read about it, it's a pretty short story, but it's basically the idea that some shit happened back in the day with Barbara Streisand, where some people called her out in publications and stuff, and she had it was like an embarrassing video or something. I don't even remember the original premise. But it's the idea that because somebody of so like big public view, was like, fuck this shit, fuck those people, fuck, like flipped out about it, that millions of people that would have never even known that it was said were like, I got to find out what it's the whole thing. The reason I was reading about it is because I was reading this big article the other night about there's this kid that was like tracking famous people, like their jets, flight patterns and stuff. And the two biggest instances with this same kid, he was tracking Mark Cuban, and he had a Twitter. He was just like, Mark Cuban's jet left this place, landed at this place. And it's like technically public info, but you kind of have to seek it out. So he wasn't doing anything illegal. Mark Cuban was basically like, hey man, you're probably going to make a better friend in me than not if you fucking knock it off. And he offered the kid some basketball. He offered the kid like $5,000 and some basketball tickets, and the kid took it and was like, dude, Mark Cuban's the fucking homie. On the flip side of that, he was doing it with Elon Musk, and Elon Musk like flipped his fucking shit. And this was right when Musk bought Twitter, and he keeps tweeting, and he banned the kid from Twitter after he was just, I'm buying Twitter to bring back free speech. And then he like bans this kid, and all of this stuff happened. And it went from some people kind of knowing about the kid to like, now he has a whole subreddit or on Reddit called like Elon Jet Tracker that has like millions of people that follow it. And it went from this thing that like no one really cares where your jet's going except for a couple people that are making like the point about your carbon footprint or whatever. Like no one really cared about this until you called attention and attacked this kid and made a big false deal out of it. And now everyone knows about it. Mm-hmm. And so like, it's that kind of thing that like, if a shop were to call out your shop and like the video gets a couple thousand views and like 3 heart reacts and a fucking 2 comments, it makes them look dumber that they like shot their shot and fell flat on their face than if they see the chink in the armor and that you're like, fuck this shit, and you respond. Now how many people that love your shop and love getting, fucking tattooed and pierced there, they love you, Donna, Billy, the whole crew, are like, well, what was this shop say? You almost like shine more exposure to that shop by granting them any bit of your time,
right?
Versus just being like, hey, internally, yeah, like I'm kind of fucking bummed out that they did this because I thought they were homies or whatever, while equally being like, fuck them,
Right.
And it just granted you so much more strength and control over the situation. And I waited a day or two. I think you like said something to me about it a day or two later, and I was like, hey, now that you brought it up, that's fucking tight that you didn't. Because if you had, it's not like I'm your friend. I was gonna be like, why the fuck did you do that? But I know someone in the Dayton scene that got attacked by a lot of other shops and everything, and like went on this tirade about the haters and how the haters give them strength and all of this stuff. And it's like, it kind of just seems like you're granting them a big fucking production and reaction, which is what they wanted, versus just being like, yeah, fuck it, and keep on keeping on.
I've done that in the past, and I do believe the haters conversation needs to happen. I don't believe I need to have the haters conversation when I'm being attacked by haters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
there's a difference between saying haters gonna hate because haters are gonna hate, and saying haters gonna hate because somebody like really a specific instance for sure. The hater conversation can happen all day, but if it happens as a retort or a retaliation to one specific instance, then it looks like it got to you,
Yeah, and which is exactly what they wanted.
And
like,
that's the thing, it can get to you, but if
did
you
get to
let
me.
it get to you to where you show them that it got to you, that's where, you know, people win.
Sorry, Jado is looking for something. No, you're absolutely right, man. Fucking when and like I never want to let them see me sweat, so to speak, but at the same time I also want to show people me being vulnerable. I also don't want to make the decision I wish I hadn't made. And you know, I've made those, like, you know, getting all fucking indignant, haters going hate, and I fucking win, Beatrice, you know, like, and
Yeah.
like I will say like those exact fucking words, right? But like I want to say it when I know that like I'm feeling it, so I'm not selling something that I believe is bullshit, you know,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
really like the reality of it is I found out what the guy was mad about. He thinks I stole his website content, which I didn't. And like, now I'm like, oh, wow, I'm really glad I didn't explode. You know what I'm saying? This is really just somebody trying to like shoot their shot. And like you said, you know, like it had a couple thousand views. It had more views than everything else that they'd put up, somebody told me. So like they shot their shot and they won, right? They got some fucking exposure. That's cool. That's great. And they may have stole a client or two, but at the end of the day, like what you said, I didn't start beating my kids in public. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
you know,
and if you, I feel like I feel this way a lot about people that speak negatively of other things. If I look at who they are and my typical experience with them in my life, I can kind of gauge what's going on when they say things. But if I know people that, like, if I see online that someone comes out swinging at something that hard, I'm usually like, you're projecting. Like you have a beef, you have an issue. If you ever see the fucking, like, I know Karen's like a kind of all encompassing term, but if you ever see, you know, those Karen reviews on Facebook where it's like, we went to this restaurant and waited 45 fucking minutes and our water didn't even have the right kind of ice, and they're like shouting all these things that make it sound like their experience was so god awful, and you're reading it and you're like, doesn't seem that bad. Did they, if I went into a place and they were like, give me 5 and then it was 45, yeah, that's different.
right.
But I feel like if you really have that level of bad experience, you almost speak about it casually because it's so bad that you're like, dude, everything was just fucking horrible. It was awful. I would never go there again. If you've got an itemized list and everything, I feel like you're reaching for the sake of reaching. And a lot of people probably saw that video and were like, this seems grudgy or petty. And if I see any sort of business that posts shit like that, like every business right now that's posting the like, now hiring, but only people that want to work, only people that really want to fucking, these goddamn teenagers with the TikTok and the Joe Biden, and you read through it and you're like, wow, I don't want to support this place in any way. They are clearly the issue.
All they're doing is losing customers.
You know, there's a Facebook group, I'm sure every state has one, but there's what it's called, like Tattoo Lovers of Ohio. And it's really cool because there's like 8 to 12 posts a day, every day, of people that are just like, hey, I'm in Central Ohio. I really like neo-traditional. I'm trying to get something like this. And they get hooked up with artists. And there's a lot of artists that no matter what post it is, no matter where in Ohio they are, no matter what the style, I got openings today. I got openings today. And I've seen these artists enough saying that I'm like, what are they doing that they are free every day and they don't care what style, where this person is? They're just come in now. I'm like, that reeks of desperation. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on that artist. But on the flip side, I've noticed with a lot of clients that go on there, I've had a bad experience at every shop I've ever been to, and they just don't get art, and everyone's wrong but me, and I just want this tattoo. I'm like, even if they were literally like, I want a whole traditional back piece of fucking Garfield, and I've got 10 G's, even if it was my dream thing, I'm like, I will never reach out to this person because they are clearly broadcasting that they are the issue here.
No, you're absolutely right.
You know, and it is that thing that if I see any sort of local business start taking pot shots at other businesses online, I'm like, ew, how unclassy. I don't want to fuck with your business.
No, I feel you. And I hate to rush you, but it's 5:59. But I totally agree with you. And
I mean,
I love
Renee's turn in like 30 seconds.
Yep. I appreciate the shit out of like that perspective on it, because that's like the whole angle I tried to take. You know what? Non-reactive, just be cool, just be mellow, be like the monk, just chill, man, because it is or it isn't, but it isn't at the same time. So let's just fucking let it be, you know?
Yeah.
But it's 6 o'clock. I love you guys. Thank you for showing up as always. Thank you for sharing as always. And thank you, Gabe, Guy, and the whole Reinventing crew for helping us facilitate a talk about feelings with Robbie Ripoll, Dusty Pitstick, and our honorary host, Amber Morgaine. Love you guys.
Hands up.
Have a great night. Thank you so much. And I'll see you again. We'll see you again.